Here's a game I've been excited for and was kind of hoping for the best, but the demo kind of left everybody with a bit of a sour taste in their mouth. However, things have changed. This is Forspoken. If you're like me, the demo didn't really hit too well, that's for sure. It tossed you in the middle of the game with a bunch of powers you just really didn't understand. You didn't know how to use it, and the mechanics had you flying all over the place, feeling a little cumbersome. Happy to say a lot of that changed when you actually get to start the game from the beginning. It eases you into the game, to the mechanics, and to Frey's story. Frey is more or less been abandoned from birth. She's out on her own, and she's got this demeanor, this attitude behind her that kind of can be a little overbearing at times. Some of the language and dialogue is a little forced, and it doesn't seem necessary. She's trying to get her point across, but it just gets to be a little too much. Exciting to say though, settings allow you to dial some of this down. That settings option, I think, was actually quite a highlight.
Well, you're not going to find what you're looking for out here.
I know.
There's a lot going on with Forspoken, but it really starts when you run into Cuff. He's your companion that will carry you through the rest of the game, and this is where it all begins. Now, the story overall is the world of Athia has been somewhat pleasant in the past, but now the future has changed. The break is here, and it's kind of like an apocalypse in a sense. For these Tantas, these four powerful women were in charge and oversaw everything, making sure everybody was healthy, safe, and sound. Well, something happened, and it changed everything for the future, and now Frey is on her way trying to figure out how to get back home, but at the same time, save Athia as well. I've loved my time with Forspoken. I think this game is fantastic, but it's not without its shortcomings. The world is beautiful, the combat is fun and fluid once you're able to figure it out, and it keeps you on your toes. It's kind of actually a little refreshing. I've had a blast playing this, but like I said, it's definitely got its shortcomings. When talking to Cuff, you are frozen in place. The dialogue options come up. You can't walk and talk at the same time. It's kind of weird. Cutscenes are a little obtrusive sometimes, going from black to cutscene to back and forth, and it just seems weird. It's not fluid in the way you transition and pop out of these cutscenes. There's a lot of things kind of just a little missing in a sense, that just the quality of life stuff. Something like walking and talking is pretty standard amongst games. You want to hit the dialogue and go on from there, but it really pauses you. There's a lot of things that pop up in the world that pause you in the game and not allow you to move on. Now, granted, some of these things are notes left behind, which for the first time I've actually found myself reading them, throwing myself into the world and learning a lot of the lore of what's going on behind the scenes. It's been great, cumbersome at times, but been a blast. The world of Athia is an amazing place to experience. It is fun to explore and go out and hunt and fight off all kinds of monsters. Some of these creatures are absolutely incredible. From there, you're able to go in and upgrade all your abilities. The skill tree is fantastic. I loved going out, getting the challenges, getting those taken care of, and then upgrading to the next ability. And from there, it just keeps you going. What doesn't keep you going is Cuff. Unfortunately, his repetitive dialogue with Frey is a bit of a problem and a drawback. I had a blast playing Forspoken. It was one of those games when I wasn't playing, I was thinking of. So for me, I've got to give it an 8. It's definitely not perfect. It does have some shortcomings, but it's enough that everybody should be checking it out. Forspoken is a cool game.